In today's Amanita series, we're going to look at one of our blushers, one of the more distinct ones we call Amanita flavorubens, which is the yellow blusher. Oh, in Section Valide, in the blusher group we have in the East. Some characteristics of this we can see in age. There's some red blushing on top. We may have more on the other side. We see that little piece of gill fragment that fell off is very red. It's blushing, hence the name blushers. Oh, some characteristics we have on these, general shape and size. If we get a little closer, we'll see some yellow warts around here on the margin. And this yellow cap, and we can see that it's blushing. I even picked this other one on the other side of the yard here. Much more yellow in appearance, more fresh than the one that's in the ground here. Maybe it's a little faded out because of the sun. So we'll focus on this one right here that I picked. If you note, there's some traces of vellum on the stem here, which are vibrantly yellow. Matches the vellum on the cap. And you can see close up where there's some blemishes of blushing in the center right here and on the other side. A couple little buttons growing on the bottom here. And if we look at the stem, most blushers you'll notice closer to the base and primarily right here is that's where the blushing starts. A lot of times you won't have any blushing on the mushroom. You can generally see it at the base where there's some damage from bugs and slugs and whatnot. So this one has a skirt, and just a memo on this. Let's zoom in a little bit and focus. The design of this skirt here, if you look at where it connects to the cap, this is really trademark for Section Valide, in my opinion. Mainly with the blushers, but it has this design, how it peels away from the cap. Just worth noting. So this is in Section Valide. It doesn't really have a striate margin. We can see light striations, maybe around here. Not commonplace on Section Valide, but not unheard of either. Just not typical. And I got a little friend eating that one. Let's go back to this one. See if we can pull this out for some more characteristics, being a little bit older. So as we're pulling it up, we can see yellow traces of vellum. And much more distinct on the stem is the blushing towards the bottom. Here we can see the red discoloration. Much better there, as the blusher does. So this one as well, we can note that the skirt on the bottom of this is very yellow. Now, with these flavorubens, I've seen them in various colors, from pale yellow to brown to all sorts of members in between. Classically, it has a lot of yellow action going on somewhere on it. And generally, if it has a brown cap, it'll have yellow vellum remnants or warts. So this is a good characteristic to note on this. Here you can see the design of the skirt. I mentioned the way it peels away. You can see these trace remnants where it met the margin of the cap, and it leaves this design very traditional for Section Valide. Oh, much better noted here on the top. And you can see the top, the margin of the annulus here is already starting to blush. We can see the gills are definitely blushing on this one. And this one doesn't have a striate margin. No, it's a Valide. Smooth margin. And that's it for this blusher. Amanita flavorubens. I hope you enjoyed.